Hello, everyone. Welcome to Live at 5. I'm Beth Stevens.
I'm Paul Wontorek, and we're at the heart of Broadway, Broadway.com.
We are. It's April 20th. We have a fantastic guest.
Rebecca Faulkenberry, who is fantastic in one of our favorite new shows, Groundhog Day.
Yes.
She has such a cool role, and I'm excited to talk to her about it. But first news, well, first of all, it's the day everyone's been waiting for. We heard about this day. We knew that this day would live on in Broadway history like, what, a year and a half ago?
Yes, that's right.
It was
Do you know what we're talking about?
Bette Midler's on Broadway, you guys, and she's opening officially tonight. And we have a bunch of stuff on the site.
Yes.
We have, so it's crazy because everybody sort of woke up today, and if you walk around Broadway, it says Hello Dolly everywhere.
That's right. You can look at pictures on the site, but Schubert Alley and all of the area
Trash
around.
can, all of Schubert Alley. You know the lineup of posters is it's Hello Dolly, Hello Dolly, Hello Dolly, Bette Midler, Bette Midler. Anyway, so it's an event, and you know how they hang on the light posts, they hang the banners. I'm pretty sure every block of the theater district
Times Square
says Hello Dolly.
Yes, that's right.
So producer Scott Rudin knows how to do it, knows how to make a splash.
He's doing it up right.
And the show, I'm sure everyone's getting ready right now.
And do you want to hear something cool?
What?
Mayor de Blasio is making tomorrow Dolly Day.
Dolly Day, not Hello, just Dolly Day.
Just Dolly Day.
It's for Dolly Parton. Is it for Dolly Parton?
No, it's not. It's for Bette Midler.
It's for...
So April 21st.
Forever.
Dolly Day, forever.
How long do those things last?
I don't know. There's like a proclamation. I haven't read the fine print, though.
Also, I want everyone to read, I wrote a feature about Bette Midler's early days on Broadway because I was really fascinated. I've been a fan of hers forever, and I knew that she started on Broadway. We all knew she was in Fiddler on the Roof.
That's right.
But I really dug in and did some research about it, and it's really fascinating to look back on Bette Midler as someone who was dying to be on Broadway, and then she got on Broadway and she was a little disgruntled and kind of like... And
she was on Broadway for a while.
And then 3 years in Fiddler on the Roof, and then her sister died. I mean, all these crazy... Just read the story, and then she kind of got really frustrated.
Herself.
But it turned her into what she... she sort of took all her frustration out and became a singer. And anyway, I think it's an interesting story. So check that out.
Check that out. There's a lot of news
What else is happening? Let's get through it.
Well, the Helen Hayes is going to reopen. You know, the Helen Hayes Theater on Broadway was now bought by Second Stage, and they've renovated it. And they're launching with Kenneth Lonergan, recent Oscar winner, Kenneth Lonergan's Lobby Hero. And that will star Michael Cera and Chris Evans.
Yeah.
And that will be in March 2018, so we have to wait.
Yeah, it's a good plan.
There's one more character they haven't announced yet.
The chick.
The woman.
Sorry.
That will be directed by Trip Coleman.
It was
Heather Burns.
She had a great accent. I remember
it was Heather Burns.
Anyway.
And Tate Donovan and Glenn Fitzgerald in the original production off Broadway in 2001. I love that play. That will be
Playwrights Horizons, right?
That will be followed. Yeah. That's right. That will be followed by young Gene Lee's Straight White Men.
Okay.
And that's going to be directed by Tony winner Anna D. Shapiro in July next year. So those are the Broadway.
Cool.
But they have all these cool playwrights that they've commissioned to write plays, and they're going to be done in LA at the Center Theater Group and then at Second Stage at the off-Broadway venue. But they showed people around the Helen Hayes. We have pictures. You haven't lived till you've seen John Robin Bates in a hard hat. They had all the playwrights in the hard hat. So here are the playwrights. I'll just give them to you quickly.
It will be. But go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
John Robin Bates, Will Eno, Lisa Crone, Lynn Nottage, Paula Vogel, and they will also co-commission a new work from Bess Wohl for Broadway.
Who's Bess Wohl? I don't know her work.
She's a playwright.
She's new.
There you go.
We like that. No, I just want... Jen pointed out that we forgot to mention David Hyde Pierce. But not just David into Hello Dolly. Also, Gavin Creel, Kate Baldwin, Beanie Feldstein, welcome to Broadway. It's her Broadway debut.
That's right.
It's like the besties with Ben Platt when they were kids. Jennifer Samard.
Yeah, so many people.
Taylor Trent. Anyway,
we still haven't seen it, you guys.
It's an amazing costume. We can't wait to see it.
I have more news.
Keep going.
Kelly O'Hara and Stephen Pasquale.
We like them. They're one of my favorite cast albums of all time.
Bridges of Madison County. They are reuniting for Brigadoon at New York City Center in November, directed by Tony winner Christopher Wheeldon, also starring Robert Fairchild.
Pre-Broadway?
I mean, I hope so.
Let's start rumors. Brigadoon. I don't know how I feel about Brigadoon, but I'm excited to see those two do it.
I don't know anything about Brigadoon.
I'm wondering how sexy they can make it.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't know how sexy Brigadoon is, but Bridges of Madison County was pretty sexy with those two. I'm sorry, keep going.
Thank you for putting that in there. The Tony honors have been announced. It will be general managers Nina Lannon and Alan Wasser, so congratulations to those two pillars of the community.
Yes.
There will be a new production of Ibsen's An Enemy of the People. It was done a few years ago at MTC. Maybe you saw it.
Yeah.
But it's going to be adapted by one of my favorite playwrights, Brandon Jacobs Jenkins, who was shortlisted for the Pulitzer for Gloria. Great writer. And that's a very political play. It's interesting. So that's coming to Broadway. We don't have a lot of information about when.
Happy birthday, David Lopez.
Happy birthday, David.
Sorry, keep going.
Ben Platt is very influential. He's
oh
on
my
the Time
God,
100.
this was huge. He's an influencer.
He's an influencer, and Zac Efron wrote about him, as you do.
One of the top 100 people at Time
100.
Magazine.
Other theater people we're going to call our own are Viola Davis and James Corden and Sarah Paulson were on that list, so that was exciting. Annie Baker's The Antipodes has extended off Broadway through May 28th at the Signature, so you can have more time to see that. Younger, starring Sutton Foster, has been picked up for season 5. Season 4 starts at the end of June.
Wow.
And now I'm going to just tell you all the cool features we have on the site right now.
Okay.
Paul's Backstory, Bette Midler. We've talked about that.
Check that out.
Broadway Bears Strip You pictures.
Naked people.
Naked people for a good cause.
Naked Broadway people.
Little Foxes opened last night. We've got opening pictures of that.
Clothed.
They're definitely wearing clothes. Matthew Perry wrote a play and he's starring in it. It's called The End of Longing, and they met the cat.
He did that in London, right?
He did do it in London. We have Anastasia production shots. Very exciting. We have a shot of Stephanie Style and Drew Gayling from Roman Holiday. You're just staring at me now.
Yep.
We have a John Bolton Broadway nosh.
Yeah, they made food.
They made Reubens and they drank Moscow
Kirsten
Mules.
Wyatt. Yeah.
Kirsten Wyatt.
Yeah. Moscow Mules, which I'm so excited. It's summer. It's Moscow Mule time. It's not summer yet, but I'm
summer at all.
I'm ahead of myself.
But there's a lot of Russian stuff on Broadway, so you can enjoy that.
Yes, and in politics.
Michael McKean's Roll Call. Michael McKean is in The Little Foxes, and we have a
Of Laverne and Shirley fame.
among other things.
He's moved on to a lot of other things.
And we have a Q&A with Duncan Sheik, and he talks about American Psycho, and he talks about a Spring Awakening movie. But he's mostly
That's
talking...
been in the works forever.
Yeah, he has some
I'm
thoughts
not holding
about
my
that.
breath. I hope it's happening, but come on.
And he talks about the Whisper House, which is in London right now. But there's much more important stuff
Yep.
to talk about with Rebecca Faulkenberry. Bye,
Yep.
guys.
Come on in, Rebecca Faulkenberry.
Oh, a clap. I like that.
Hi.
I feel so informed now, Paul.
How are you? I like the green.
Oh, thank
It's a good
you.
color for you.
Thank you very
It's your
much.
color. Oh my God, what an exciting week for you. So
What a week.
I was at your opening night performance on Monday. What's today?
Okay.
Thursday? Okay, 3 days
Yep.
ago you opened on Broadway. At Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
And it was a crazy performance because of the whole Andy Carl. As everybody knows now, Andy Carl hurt himself on last Friday.
During
the show, which must have been scary.
Yeah,
Like
scary
in
and
the moment.
heartbreaking and yeah.
Yeah. And then he missed a couple shows, and then he went on for opening night with a knee brace and got through it.
Yeah.
I was nervous a couple times. I was like, "Oh my God, his foot slipped" or whatever. And but you really like sort
I
of
was
got
nervous before I saw him. We were all called for rehearsal at 10 o'clock that day
10
on
a.m.
opening
right,
day.
which is
Yep.
not typical on opening
Which
night.
is not typical on opening. I had my manicures planned and all this, but I was like, Andy needs us, we're there.
Right.
And so, yeah, 10 o'clock. And once I saw him, I wasn't worried at
Right.
all. He had his knees strapped up and the physio was there to help him, but I mean, and you saw it. We didn't alter really
No, I know.
anything.
Yeah,
It was just,
I know.
it might take a little more time to
Yeah.
walk here, so be
Yeah.
aware.
Yeah, it's crazy
Yeah.
though. It's one of those showbiz moments.
I know. The whole week before opening was a showbiz
Yeah.
moment. I feel like people are like, how was opening? How'd you feel? I'm like, I feel like we climbed a mountain. Then we got to the top. and we did it.
Friggin' love this show so much. I saw it in London
Good.
as well, and I just think it is so smart and so emotionally rich in a really smart way, and so funny and so clever, and you get to meet all of these characters. So what's the name of the town?
Punxsutawney.
Which is a real place.
Which is a
right?
real
It's a real
place.
ground. Did you go
Yeah.
there for research? Go to the
We
diner?
did not. I thought we should because we were rehearsing on Groundhog Day, and I thought it
Right.
would be cool if we went. And then I realized it's like 4 to 5 hours, so
That's
maybe
kind
not.
of not really that necessary.
But I did a lot of Googling and YouTubing.
Yeah, and you guys all get to, and the cast gets to play all these sort of like different townsfolk. And what's the name of your pretty girl?
I'm Nancy Taylor.
Yeah, she's kind of like the really pretty girl in town.
Yeah.
And like, you know, and Phil Connors like immediately notices her, and that's like a really funny moment. And then it's really cool because you sort of get to know a lot about her in a really fun way.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things the show does well, because we see it from Phil's perspective,
Yeah.
really, the show. So I think he sees all these people as these stock characters, the pretty girl, the old lady who owns the B&B, and that's how the audience sees them.
Stereotypes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then as he begins to see them as more and he becomes a better person and
Yeah.
grows up a bit, then we get to see more of the characters.
Yeah. It's so, with the Matthew Warch's staging. I mean, he's a genius.
Oh my God. The puppeteer that is Matthew
And Peter
Arches.
Darling, the choreographer, right?
Uh-huh.
I like
Peter
to call him,
and Ellen, yeah.
I call him Peter Darling.
Peter
That's what I like to
Darling.
call him. Anyway, the staging is so complex. What was it like rehearsing it and like learning? It's like really constant motion.
You know, I think back to when on February 2nd, we did sort of our first press stuff, and
Yeah.
people were asking about the show. And at that point, I was like, I really don't know still. And I was making up answers, but I was so our choreography was
You
so
picked it
complex.
well, by the way.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
good job.
much. But our choreography was so complex. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what it looks like from the outside. I still am not quite sure the story we're telling because we're learning it number by number, and all I'm thinking about is point here and wipe my nose here and cough and wave a flag.
Right.
And as the counts for that. So
when you're worrying about all of that, is
Mm-hmm.
it hard to actually build a character on top of it? Like, you know what I mean? Or is that just all the same process?
well, it's just step by step. I had to
Mm-hmm.
do the counting first and get the movement down, and then you get the character
Right.
on top of that, and
Right.
that comes afterwards. But then you have to, because you've seen it, we've got day 1, then into day 2, day 3, and it has to be exact because he's living the same day.
Right.
But then you alter one thing, so then it's going to be a knock-on effect. So we're doing the same thing, but maybe 4 counts later. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, you have to see the show to
Yeah, that's what makes
see
it really
that.
interesting. Everybody needs to see this show, by the way. Got great
I
reviews.
agree.
It's sort of like a big new Broadway hit.
Yeah.
It's nice to be in a... So
And
what was
it's
your
one of
last
those ones
Broadway
you can
show?
see more than I've heard a lot of people say we've had a lot of repeat visitors
Yeah.
at Stage Door because it is so intricate and the characters are so rich. You can watch one person one show and then someone
Right.
else the other, and to really get everything going on.
Yeah, so last time you were on Broadway was in what?
Spider-Man.
Turn off the dark,
Yeah.
people. Turn it off. And how was that? You did it for a long time, didn't you?
I did it for 2 years,
Yeah.
2 months.
Yeah, that's
And
a
you were
long-
talking about the Helen Hayes. That's where I made my Broadway debut in Rock of Ages.
Oh, right, of
And
course.
so I switched over from Rock of
Yeah.
Ages to Spider-Man.
Yeah, those are big musicals. Like
Yeah.
those are both like. What was the
Big
whole? What was
rock
it like being
musicals.
backstage at Spider-Man?
Well, the Helen Hayes was the smallest theater on Broadway.
Teeny
and
tiny.
the
And I've been to
Fox-
that. The dressing rooms there were crazy for Rock of Ages.
Dressing rooms, the walls don't go
They were
to
like
the ceiling,
half walls,
so you can kind
right?
of like call
Yeah.
over the top
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
throw York peppermint patties, which are my favorite things. in
Really?
Rock of Ages.
Is that your
yeah, I
go-to?
got kind of obsessed. I'm not anymore, but
Oh, okay.
the
Don't-
I used to have an
people
exit,
send
and
you
the
bags of
stagehand
them.
would hold one out for me, and I'd grab it as I left the stage. It just became a thing. But
But then at Spider-Man,
then
it
went
was
to the Foxes,
deluxe.
which is the biggest.
You had a nice dressing room.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Did- Did you settle in? Did you like decorate it and like?
I did, but you know, I rehearsed Spider-Man during the day while I was doing Rock of Ages at night, and I closed Rock of Ages on a Sunday and opened Spider-Man. Was supposed to be on Tuesday, and I opened on Thursday.
Wow.
So as far as decorating, I was just
Wow,
trying
I
to
didn't
get on
remember
stage
that.
and not fall in a hole.
Wow. Was that
Yeah.
did that make you spoiled about how quick you got to go from one Broadway show to the next? Like
I know.
Now you expect it every
I'm
time. Like, where's
nailing
my
it.
next one? Where's my next one? Let's go from show to show.
No, I don't think so. I think I'm very aware of the trials of this business. But I had a good couple of years run there.
Yeah, and 2 months.
And now I get another
couple years and 2
awesome
months.
couple years and 2 months.
And you have a great song in Groundhog Day,
Yeah.
the top of Act 2, everybody.
Top of Act 2.
It's kind of like you're not really expecting it. It's like those
Yeah.
cool, like Tim mentioned,
The
who's a
controversial,
genius.
unconventionally
Yeah.
placed ballad.
Right, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, this is interesting. She has an interesting like song, and
Yeah.
is it fun to? He's a genius to mention, right?
Tim,
I mean,
I would say he is one of the best composers I know at having you laugh, and before you know it, then it tugs at your heartstrings
Yeah.
and you're crying. It's that dark humor that just has a really great balance.
yeah.
Yeah.
Were you happy? Did you hear your cast album?
I listened to it on NPR
I
as we were
haven't-
streaming. I haven't listened to the whole thing.
Yeah, I haven't listened to the whole thing, but did you hear your song?
Yeah,
You have to
I
check
listened
it
to
out.
it on the subway.
Do you
but
like
I,
listening to yourself? Does it freak you out, or?
When we were going, because we had two different days for recording, and on
Yeah.
our second day, I bumped into Tim as I was walking to the session. He's like, "Oh, I'm listening to your song. Do you want to hear it?" I was like, "I'm not prepared. No, not now." He's like, "But it's not mixed. It's not ready." And I listened. I was like, "Oh, I'm sharp. Oh, I don't. My voice sounds so weird. Why?" And so I was like, "I can't listen to this now. I need to wait till it's done." And
Have you recorded before?
Carols for a Cure CD and
Oh,
things
of
like that.
course.
But
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is my first original
Yeah.
cast.
Yeah.
So first CD, first opening
Yeah.
night, and it comes out on iTunes tomorrow.
Oh,
which is so
awesome!
cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And was the party fun? Did you have fun at the Gotham Hall? Big party.
I
Who
had-
was there for you?
My parents were
Are
there,
they
and
excited?
my boyfriend and my manager, my agent, and
they
they
all
were
love
so
it?
excited.
Yeah.
And it was great. I love the party. I love dressing up, but then I wear big heels the whole show, and so then wanted to wear heels for the party, of course, because I had to complete the outfit. But about 45 minutes in, I was like,
"This is not
I need
working."
to eat and sit and then go to bed.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot. But somebody wants to know Peyton wants to know what's the best advice you've ever been given. People love to ask that question.
Best advice I've ever been given. I'll tell you some of the best advice I think I give to musical theater people that ask.
Yeah, because people ask at the stage door, right?
Yeah. And for musical theater performers, I always say learn how to act. I think that because it's a lot of people, we get obsessed with the singing and the songs and the dancing, and those are all technical
Hitting the big
things.
notes.
Exactly, hitting
yeah.
the big notes, kicking your face, and doing
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
that. And people forget the acting element. And all the people that I've worked
How did you learn
opposite
how to
with-
act?
well, I think I was probably really bad at first, and then I just had the right director. Kind of, probably it was like early 20s who thought this voice you're doing that you don't need to
Before
do that.
Rock of Ages or after
And
Rock of Ages?
Before Rock of Ages.
Before, because sometimes people land on a Broadway show and then they learn how to act,
and then
right?
they learn.
I mean,
And I think it's someone pointed it out to you and going, acting in a play or on TV is not any different from what you're going to do in a musical. You think, we're in a musical and we're going to
Yeah.
be big and do this. And it's not. It's just as grounded and real, and people want to see a real person on stage. Mm-hmm. So take an acting class. That's what I do. I still take acting class.
Chelsea wants to know, dream role? Question mark.
My response is always the original role that has not yet been written is the dream role.
Okay.
Although I do hear that League of Their Own is kicking around somewhere, and
Oh,
we'll put that up
stop
there.
it! You just got me. I forgot.
Wherever you are.
I forgot about that.
I know
that.
it's one of those rumors, but
Wait, is that Jason Robert Brown? Am I making that up?
that
Might be a rumor. That might be a rumor I just said.
Yeah.
I don't know. Which Broadway show do you wish you could see that you can't because you're in a show? I just made that one up. That's a fun question. I just made it up.
I want to see Present Laughter, Kevin Kline. I got to see Kevin Kline and Meryl Streep do Romeo and Juliet in the park.
Oh,
When
wow.
was that? Like 4 or 5 years ago. They did like a one-night
Yeah,
benefit
yeah.
thing. And I love him.
was
And he went to
amazing.
Indiana University, which is where I went to. And I think he's
Oh.
such a fabulous actor.
Yeah.
So I would like to see that.
I like that answer. So Andrew Call is on right now, right?
Andrew Call. Andy Carl, Andrew Call. It's
I
a
know,
little
it's so
confusing,
crazy.
right?
Yeah, I know about these guys forever, and the names have always made me laugh. And now it's funny that they're tied together in this Broadway story.
I know.
But yeah, Andrew Call he's going on for a couple days, and then Andy's
He
coming
was
back.
on yesterday, and he's
Yeah.
on today.
Yeah. So is that fun to
I'm
mix it
so
up?
pleased to watch him do so well on stage
Uh-huh.
because he's a great guy and he's super talented.
He was also on Grease Live, everybody.
He was.
Yeah, he was sunny.
I
He was
saw him in
awesome.
that.
Yeah. Everyone saw that.
Him and his baby face, looking like he's in high school. Yeah, and I mean, it's a beast of a part. It's a monster part, and I've never understudied. I don't know if I have the anxiety level for it to be able to
That's
get thrown on,
crazy.
and to have a part that big. And he was so prepared. I was like, if there's anyone I'm not worried about, it's Andrew Call going on for this part.
Right.
And he did such a great job, and he's so interesting. And there's things that are the same that Andy does, and then there are nuances he does that are his own thing because they're different people. So
Right. That's awesome. What's the hardest thing about your role? Lisa wants to know. Is it besides the heels?
the heels are a real
Is it the
thing,
heels?
though. Remembering the counts and my feet. And I go to Snowflake Massage Place, $10 for 10 minutes around the corner at least once a week and get my feet massaged.
I know that place.
It's pretty
good.
good.
I love a foot massage.
But in the tap, those heels, I used to have another inch on them so that they could nail the taps into them. But then we cut like 20 seconds out of a quick change I have.
Oh.
So I can't wear the taps anymore. Secret. But for about a week, I was in these monster platform
God.
tap shoes. And as you're doing it, I mean, many times in shows I go, this is a terrible idea. But whatever, I'm just going to say yes and do it anyway.
Right.
And yeah.
Right.
But I'm a little safer now without sliding metal.
Yeah, I'm glad. Let's keep it safe. Let's keep it safe at Groundhog Day.
Keep your ankles and everything in check.
I love this show so much, and everyone needs to see it. Don't you agree?
I agree.
Yeah, it's really it's a really special show.
hilarious.
It's not like if you just think like, oh, they made another movie into a musical. Don't think that, because it's actually the theatricality of doing it as a musical adds so many layers to this story, and it's not just like scene for scene the movie. It's like it works on so many other levels.
Yeah, this
That's what I
creative
love about
team,
it.
having Matthew and Peter and Ellen with the movement, and Tim with his compositions,
Yeah.
and Chris Nightingale, who did all the orchestrations for him. The orchestra sounds amazing. The theatricality of it. We've got magic. We've got every kind of different.
I had to see it twice to figure some of those things out.
I know.
And when I saw it again, I was like, "Oh, I think I figured that one out now."
Yeah. I was sitting in the front row the first time I saw it. I was like, "Wait, what? How did they?" I mean, in rehearsal.
Yeah.
I thought, "Huh."
I know.
So that's very
crazy.
good because I didn't even see it.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much for coming by. It's so nice to see you.
Me.
And
nice to see
and
you
you guys will be
Facebook.
back tomorrow at 5 o'clock with another fabulous guest. Bye.